Hello everyone, welcome to our material salbutamol drug. Before we start our materi, I will introducing our group. The first, Kristi Bura, second is Agnes Sinaga, third is Naftalian Faris, and the fourth is Oktariana Wijayanti. Okay, before I explain about salbutamol drug, I will explain first about asthma. Asthma is a chronic disease of the respiratory tract. This condition is caused by inflammation of the respiratory tract, which causes bronchial hypersensitivity to stimuli and obstruction of the airway. Clinical symptoms of asthma usually appear in form of wheezing, short of breath, chest tightness, and cough that varies from time to time with limited expiratory airflow. Okay, we move to salbutamol drug. Salbutamol is a drug used in asthma therapy. This beta-2 adrenergic drug is the most potent bronchodilator available and is a rescue drug to loosen the airway in asthma attack. Based on its duration of action, salbutamol is a short-acting beta-2 adrenergic. Short-acting drug work quickly, but the action does not last long. It is generally used for acute attacks. Okay, now we move to the generic name and patent name. Generic name is salbutamol. Patent name, first Ventolin, second Proventil, third Iromir, fourth Salamol, fifth Astelin, and the last is Lasal. Okay, now we move to picture of each dosage form of the drug. The first is Ventolin, available in inhaler. Second is salbutamol sulfate, available in tablet. The third is Lasal salbutamol, available in syrup. Lasal salbutamol sulfate, available in capsule. Astarol salbutamol, available in tablet. Astarol salbutamol, available in syrup. Proventil, available in inhaler. Iromir, available in inhaler. Astelin, available in inhaler. Salamol, available in inhaler.
Okay, so the next is drug class and classification. Drug class of salbutamol is classified as a bronchodilator. Subclassification is it is typically a short-acting beta-2 adrenergic agonist. This means it acts quickly to relieve symptoms and is often used for immediately relief during asthma attack or COPD exacerbation. Okay, next, indication and contradiction. Indication, salbutamol is indicated for the relief of bronchospasms in patients with asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or COPD, exercise-induced bronchospasm. Contraindication, salbutamol should not be used in patients who have, first, a known hypersensitive to salbutamol or any of its components, two, severe heart condition such as arrhythmias or uncontrolled hypertension, or as it may worsen this condition. Third is for breastfeeding moms and pregnant women. Okay, the next is side effect. Salbutamol may cause any of the following side effects, such as headache, tiredness, rapid heartbeat, involuntary shaking of the hands and legs, nausea, vomiting, and palpitation. Some side effects may need immediately medical help, such as rashes, breathlessness, swelling of the face, eyes, or mouth, muscle pain, weakness or cramps, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, worsening of cough. The last one is chest pain.
Okay, next I will explain about pharmacodynamics and pharmacodynamics. Pharmacodynamics. Salbutamol is a selective beta-2 adrenergic receptor agonist commonly used as a bronchodilator in the treatment of asthma and COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. A. Mechanism of action, receptor binding. Salbutamol selectively stimulates beta-2 adrenergic receptor primarily found in bronchial smooth muscles. Signal transduction, first activation of adenylyl cyclase, second conversion of ATP to CNP, and the third elevated intracellular CNP activates protein kinase A or PKA. And effects for the first, PKA phosphorylates target proteins, leading to smooth muscle relaxation and bronchodilation. And the second, reduce airway resistance, improve airflow, and relieves bronchospasm symptoms. B. Onset of actions. Onset around 5 minutes. Peak effects within 13 until 16 minutes and duration about 4 until 6 hours. And C. Additional effects and considerations. May inhibit the release of inflammatory mediators from mast cells at high dose. Salbutamol may also activate beta-1 receptors, causing tachycardia, tremor, and hypokalemia. Has uterine relaxation effects occasionally used to delay preterm labor. Okay, pharmacokinetics, absorption rapidly absorbs from the gastrointestinal tract. Time to peak plasma concentration is divided into 3. Inhalation first, about 30 minutes. For the second oral inhalation, 25 minutes until 30 minutes. And the third oral, above 2 hours immediate release, and about 6 hours extended release. Bioavailability is about 15%. Distribution crosses the placenta. Plasma protein binding about 10%. Metabolism metabolized in the liver to inactive sulfate conjugates. Excretion primarily via urines. 18 to 100% oral inhalation. 76% within 3 days, 16% as metabolites oral versus above 20% oral inhalation and 4% oral. Elimination half-life is divided into 2. Oral inhalations 3.8 to about 5 hours, and the second is oral 5 until 6 hours immediate release and 9.3 hours extended release, and for the IV is 4 until 6 hours. Okay, next I will explain about dosage and mode of administration. Mode of administration is divided into 3. For the first is inhalations divided into 2. For the first is for acute bronchospasms. For adults as method, dose aerosol or dry powder inhaler 90 or 100 microgram per actuations is 1 or 2 inhalation every 4 until 6 hours. Maximum is 100 micrograms per day. And for the children as method, dose aerosol or dry powder inhaler is for 4 until 11 years is 1 or 2 inhalations, and for above 20 years is same as adult dose. For chronic bronchospasms for adults, via nebulizer is 2.5 until 5 milligram up to 3 until 4 times daily. And for the children above 4 years, same dose as adults. And for the second is intravenous divided into 2. For the first is for severe bronchospasms. Is for adults, a solution 50 microgram per milli is 250 micrograms, 4 microgram per kilogram via slow injection may be repeated if necessary. A solution 10 microgram per milli via infusions, usual rate 3 until 20 microgram per minute, adjusted based on patient need. And for the children is above 12 years is same as adult does. Okay, for the uncomplicated preterm labor is for adults to stop preterm labor between 22 until 37 weeks of pregnancy. Initially 10 microgram per minute, increases at 10 minutes intervals until response is observed. Then gradually increase infusion rate until contraction cease. Usual dose is 10 until 45 microgram per minute. Maintain infusion at the rate at which contraction cease for 1 hour. Then reduce rate by 15% every 6 hours. And for the maximum duration of treatment is 48 hours. Okay, for the last is oral bronchospasms. For adults, treatment and prevention in patients with reversible obstructive airway disease. As syrups or per immediate release tablets 2 until 4 milligrams 3 until 4 times daily may be increased up to 8 milligram 3 until 4 times daily as tolerated. As extended release tablets is for 4 until 8 milligram every 12 hours. For the elderly, as syrups or per extended is release tablets initially 2 milligrams for 3 or 4 times daily. For the children, as syrups immediate release tablet 2 until 6 years is 1 until 2 milligrams. For the 6 until 12 years is 2 milligrams. For 12 years is same as adult dose. All doses given 3 or 4 times daily. As extended release tablets 6 until 12 years is 4 milligram every 12 hours. Salbutamol is also used for prophylaxis, where prophylaxis means prevention problems by addressing potential issues before they arise. Exercise induced bronchospasms. For the adults, is asthmatic dose aerosol or dry powder inhaler 90 or 100 microgram per actuation is 2 inhalation every 15 until 30 minutes before exercise. And for the children is divided into two. For the children 4 until 11 years is 1 or 2 inhalation every 15 until 30 minutes before exercise, and for the above 12 years is same as adult dose.
Okay, the next topic is nursing consideration. A. Assessment. First, we can do the assess respiratory function truly, including breath sounds like wheezing, rales, weakened breath sounds, and then the respiratory rate, deep and rhythm, and vital capacity or forced expiratory volume if available, and then the color and characteristic of the sputum. 2 is monitor vital sign, including heart rate, blood pressure like hypertension or hypotension, oxygen saturation, and heart rhythm via ECG. And third is assess arterial blood gas to status available to evaluate the effective of oxygen and CO2 exchange. And the fourth, to reviewing the patient medical and treatment history, including other medication like beta blockers, MAOIs, theophylline, and then the presence of comorbidities like asthma, COPD, heart disease, and allergy history to bronchodilators. And 5, to check for allergic reaction of paradoxial bronchopas, including worsening shortness of breath after medication use. And 6, to monitor the patient's psychological status, particular anxiety or nervousness that may increase due to symptomatic side effects. And 7 is to assess the patient adherence to treatment and their ability to use the inhaler independently. And then the next, B, patient and family education. First, we can do to teach proper inhaler usage techniques, and 2, to explain how salbutamol works and its purpose. And 3rd, to emphasize the importance of adhering to the dosage and schedules. And 4th, we can do discuss potential side effects. 5, inform patients to avoid stimulants. And then the 6th is we can do to teach signs and symptoms of respiratory exacerbation. And 7, involve family or caregiver. And 8, to provide writing vigilance. And the next, C, nursing evaluation. First, the patient saw improved airway clearance marked by the absence of wheezing or shortness of breath within 1 hour after administration. And 2, respiratory symptoms decreased such as decreased coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, and chest tightness. And 3 is improved oxygen saturation and lung function as seen in increased SpO2 and more regular breathing pattern. And 4, the patient showed better tolerance for physical activity without the onset of excessive respiratory complaints. And 5, no allergic reaction or paradoxical bronchopas occurs during therapy. And 6, the patient and family demonstrate understanding of inhaler use, side effect, and when to seek assistance. 7, adherence to medication schedule and doses in ASIF based on use records and patient reports. And 8, reduce needs for hospitalization or emergency department visits due to effective symptom control. And 9, to improve quality of life for patients, reflect in the ability to perform daily activity without significant limitation. And the last 10, patients are satisfied with the therapy outcomes and experience physical and emotional comfort. Next topic about pregnancy safety index. The category is C. The reason the category C is the effect on animal studies. Studies in rat and rabbits have shown that high doses of salbutamol can cause fetal abnormalities or teratogenic, such as cleft palate or improper bone formation. 2, insufficient human studies, like clinical trials in pregnant women, are limited due to ethical consideration. And then, when use of salbutamol during pregnancy has not been fully proven safe, especially in the long term or at high doses. And 3, risk and benefit. In pregnant women with severe asthma or risk or preterm labor, salbutamol can save lives. And therefore, despite the risk to the fetus, doctors may still prescribe it if the benefit outweighs the risk. Precaution of the salbutamol. First, allergies or hypersensitivity, and the 2 is cardiovascular condition. The 3 is diabetes mellitus, and 4, thyroid disorders, and 5 is seizure disorders, and 6 is closed angel glaucoma, and then 7 is pregnancy and breastfeeding, and 8 is elderly patient.